Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let's chant our Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीराय आहवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दम् नेत्रै पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामं पार्थास्त्रपूतः पदमापुरस्य अहो बकीयं स्तनकालकूटं जिघ्रांसयापाय यदप्यसाध्वी लेभे गतिं धात्र्युचितां ततुन्यं कं वा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेम अशेषसङ्क्लेशशमं विधत्ते गुणानुवाद श्रवणं मुरारे किं वा पुनस्तच्चरणारविन्द परागसेवारतिरात्मलब्धा सोऽहं नृणां क्षुल्यसुखाय दुःखं महद्गतानां विरमाय तस्य प्रवर्तये भागवतं पुराणं यदाह साक्षात् भगवान् ऋषिभ्यः त्वं भक्तियोगपरिभावितहृत्सरोजा आस्ये श्रुते क्षितपथो ननु नाथ पुंसाम् यद्यद्धियात उरुगाय विभावयन्ति तत्तद्वपु प्रणयसे सदनुग्राय सोऽसावदभ्रकरुणो भगवान् विवृद्धा प्रेम स्मितेन नयनाम्बुरुहं विजृम्भम् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादम् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादम् माध्व्यागिरापनयतात् पुरुषः पुराणः ससर्जाग्र्यन्धतामिस्रम् अथत्तामिस्रमादिकृत् महामोहं च मोहं च तमश्चाज्ञानवित्तयः हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are continuing our study of Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 3, Chapter 7, entitled Further Inquiries by Mahatma Vidur. Text 11. Mahatma Vidur is responding to the new questions of Mahatma Vidur. Vidurji asked several questions. How can Lord's activities be free from the influence of the material modes? If the soul is pure and always conscious, how can the soul be covered by ignorance, avidya? If the super soul is always there with the soul, then how can the soul be subject to so many sufferings, trials, and tribulations in this world? And Maitreya Muni is saying that if one says that the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan, Ishwar, is overcome by Maya, then it is without any logic. It makes no sense because Maya is Krishna's energy. Further, in the 10th verse, Sri Maitreya Muni says that a jiva who is in distress regarding the self identity, that is the main problem, where the jiva does not know the real self identity and therefore suffers distress, just like a man suffers when he or she sees them getting beheaded in a dream. If we dream that someone has come and just chopped off our head and we are feeling great anxiety in the dream, that dream has no meaning because how can you see yourself getting beheaded? If you get beheaded, you will lose your power to see because the head is getting disconnected from the body. Similarly, when we see that we are suffering in this world, it has no basis at all because the soul is spiritual. All suffering is because Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. But we are the soul who never undergoes Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Na jayate, mriyate va kadachin. The soul is never born, the soul is never dies, the soul never becomes diseased, the soul never becomes Jara, old. So when we think that I'm suffering in this world because of disease, because of impending death, because of old age, whatever reason, it is simply illusion, like a person feeling distress upon seeing himself getting beheaded in a dream. And then we begin from verse number 11. Yatha jale chandramasah kampadistat krito gunah drishyate san api drashtur atmano natmano gunah. Sri Maitreya Muni is further saying, Chandrama, just as the moon reflected on water, yatha jale chandra, just as the moon is reflected on water, appears to the seer to tremble due to being associated with the quality of the water. If you see the reflection of the moon in a pot filled with water, you're looking at the reflection and you tap the pot will, the water in the pot will undergo waves, and the reflected moon also will appear as if it is also having waves. But the moon does not have waves. The moon is not shaking like this, although it appears. As the moon reflected on water appears to tremble due to being associated with the quality of water, so the self associated with matter appears to be qualified as matter. Similarly, when we see ourselves with a material body, then we see ourselves being affected by material conditions like birth, old age, disease, and death. Actually, the soul cannot undergo these changes. But because we are seeing the soul not as a spiritual entity, but as a material entity with a material body, oh, I am this body. Oh, he is that body. He took birth, he died, he became diseased, he became old. Then we see all these qualities being attributed to the pure soul because of ignorance. In the end of the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains the quivering quality of the moon is also variable. When the water is standing still, there is no quivering. A more settled conditioned soul quivers less, but due to material connection, the quivering quality is more or less present everywhere. So, someone may be into the process of yoga. They may live, they may live a very disciplined life, because of which they will enjoy very good health. They may live a very long life also. And they'll say, we are not suffering. We are having a sense of wellness. Yes, but still you will die. One day, even the best yogi will become old and die. Even Markandeya Rishi will die one day. Even Brahmaji is going to die one day. So some parts the water is quivering more. Some parts the water is steady, it is quivering less, but still that reflection is not the real moon. It is Chaya Abhas. That is beg your pardon. It is Pratibimba Abhas. There is Chaya Abhas and there is Pratibimba Abhas. It is a reflection. It's not the real thing. Text 12. So as long as we see the soul materially situated with material eyes, we are seeing reflection. We are not seeing the real. Text 12. सवय निवृत्ति धर्मेण वासुदेवानुकंपया भगवद भक्ति योगेन तिरोधत्ते शनैरिह. But that misconception of self-identity can be diminished gradually by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vasudeva Anukampaya. By the Anukampa, by the mercy of Lord Vasudev. This misconception can be removed. Slowly. Tirodhatte Shanai. Gradually, it can be removed through the process of bhakti in the mode of detachment. Nivritti dharmena. Pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti means to enjoy more and more. Nivritti means detachment. When we practice detachment while practicing bhakti, what is the meaning? What is the meaning of bhakti yogena and nivritti? Detachment from matter alone will not help. It has to be accompanied by attachment to Krishna. So, savai nivritti dharmena, to give up that which is not good, Vasudevanukampaya Bhagavad Bhakti Yogena. And at the same time, there should be Bhagavad Bhakti. There are two things in life, my dear friends. There is Anartha Nivritti and there is Artha Pravritti. Both are required. Anartha Nivritti alone will not help. Vishwamitra Muni was saying, no, 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 no. It will work for some time. But just no, 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 no will not work. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. Will not work. No meat eating, no intoxication, no resistance. No, okay. I will not do, I will not do, I will not do, I will not. It may work for some time, but it is not sustainable. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, at the end, what can repression achieve? What can repression achieve? It is mithyachar. If externally we are saying no, 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 but internally there is taste for those things. So what is the way out? Vishwamitra Muni is not the way out. The way out is Haridas Thakur, where you are saying no to the prostitute. You are saying yes to Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Yes, yes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah, enjoy with me. Yes, yes, yes. I will enjoy with you. Both of us will enjoy Harinam, Harinam Amrit. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is called Artha Pravritti. So both should happen. Therefore, here it is said, Bhagavad Bhakti Yogena and Savai Nivritti Dharmena. Bhagavad Bhakti Yogena, Param Drishtva Nivartate, get a higher taste and give up the lower taste. That misconception, ahankar, will go away gradually through the practice of bhakti with detachment. Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, the quivering quality of material existence, which comes from identification with matter or from thinking oneself under material influence to be God, can be eradicated by devotional service to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. That is the antidote. The problem is we don't want to serve. Problem is we want to be served. Problem is we want to be God. So what is the treatment for this wrong mentality? Opposite, serve God. Serve God. Antidote for Vaishnava Aparadh is Vaishnava Stuti. Like that. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, Lord Vasudeva is pleased by devotional service only, and thus his mercy is realized by association with pure devotees of the Lord. Pure devotees of Lord Vasudeva are transcendental to all material desires, including the desire for bhukti and mukti. If one wants to acquire the mercy of the Lord, Vasudeva Anukampaya, you want Anukampa of Lord Vasudeva, one has to associate with the pure devotees. Such association alone can release one from the quivering elements. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra ka ilawa mata Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi hai. Yadendriyo paramotha दृष्ट्रात्मनि परे हरो विलीयन्ते तदा क्लेशाः संसुप्तस्येव कृत्स्नशः. When the senses are satisfied in the seer, the super soul, who is a drishta, drishtatmani, personality of God at the witness, when the senses are satisfied in the super soul and merge in the super soul, all miseries are completely vanquished. Viliyante tada klesha. All miseries are vanquished as after a sound sleep. Just like one may be very fatigued, very tired, but after a sound sleep, we wake up refreshed, rejuvenated. Similarly, when we make Krishna's satisfaction our satisfaction, we become very, very refreshed and satisfied also. Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. If Krishna is pleased, then everybody else is also pleased. Then text number 14. Ashesha sanklesha shamam vidhatte gunanuvada shravanam murare kim va punastacharanaaravinda paraga sevaratiratma labdha. Shri Maitreya Muni is speaking this beautiful verse. Simply by chanting and hearing of the transcendental name, form, etc. of the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, one can achieve the cessation of unlimited miserable conditions. Therefore, what to speak of those who have attained attraction for serving the flavor of the dust of the Lord's lotus feet? Such a beautiful verse. Simply by chanting and hearing Krishna Nam, Krishna Roop, Krishna Gun, Krishna Leela, one can achieve cessation of all miseries. Hearing and chanting. Gunanuvada Shravanam Murare. Then what to speak of those who have rati, who have attraction for serving the flavor of the dust of Krishna's lotus feet. Charanaravinda Paraga Seva Rati. One who have achieved Rati, what to speak of them? And simply by hearing Shravanam Murare, simply by hearing about Lord Murari, Krishna, one can get Ashesha Sanklesha Shamam Vidhatte. One can get freedom from Ashesha Sanklesha. All the kleshas can be eradicated. Ashesha means all. Namaste Girirajaya Shri Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Paramananda Daine. Same meaning. Ashesha Klesha Nashaya means without any exception, every miserable condition will be eradicated by performing bhakti. Simply beginning with Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing. So just hearing about Krishna is so powerful. Gunanuvada Shravanam Murare. So powerful. So, Satyarupa Mataji, slowly read the purport. I'll be right back. Slowly read the purport. I'll be right back. And then all of you try to memorize this verse. Start, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Purport: two different methods for controlling the material senses and are recommended in the Vedic scriptural wisdom. One of them is the process of jnana, or the path of philosophical understanding of the Supreme, Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. The other is that of direct engagement in the transcendental loving devotional service of the Lord. Of these two most popular methods, the path of devotional service is recommended here as the best because one of the path of devotional service does not have to wait for the attainment of the fruitive results of pious activities or for the results of knowledge. The two stages of executing devotional service are, first, the stage of practicing devotional service with our present senses under the regulations of the recognized scriptures, and second, attaining sincere attachment for serving the particles of the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. The first stage is called sadhana bhakti, or devotional service for the neophyte, which is rendered under the direction of a pure devotee. And the second stage is called raga bhakti, in which the mature devotee automatically takes to the various services of the Lord out of sincere attachment. The great sage Maitreya now gives the final answer to all the questions of Vidura. Devotional service to the Lord is the ultimate means to mitigate all the miserable conditions of material existence. The path of knowledge, or that of mystic gymnastics, may be adopted as a means for the purpose. But unless mixed with bhakti or devotional service, they are unable to award the desired result. By practicing sadhana bhakti, one may gradually rise to the point of raga bhakti, and by performing raga bhakti in loving devotional transcendental service, one can even control the supreme powerful Lord.
Hare Krishna. So, in other paths, thank you, Mataji. In other paths, the aim is to become the enjoyer, bhukti, or the aim is to avoid all suffering, mukti, or the aim is to become God, the Mayavad philosophy. But bhakti means to serve Krishna and develop love for Krishna, raga bhakti, and the result is, Prabhupada says, that we become even controllers of Krishna, because Krishna is aham bhakta paradhina. So that is the glory of bhakti, and bhakti begins with Shravanam Murare, by hearing about Krishna. So very important to hear. Every day, our sadhana must include hearing. Not just when we chant Hare Krishna, we have to hear the pronunciation of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but we really have to hear from the sadhus. We have to hear Hari Katha from devotees. It's very important. Text 15. Vidura uvacha sanchhinna samshayo mahyam tava suktasina vibho ubhayatrapi bhagavan mano me sampradhavati. Vidur said, after hearing this beautiful verse that teaches us the glory of hearing about Krishna, अशेष संक्लेश शमं विधत्ते गुणानुवाद श्रवणं मुरारे किं वा पुनस्तच्चरणारविंद पराग सेवारतिरात्मलब्धा. It's a memorization verse for us also. After hearing this verse, that just by hearing about Krishna, hearing about Krishna's name, Krishna's gun, Krishna's lila, all our klesh, all our suffering, kleshagni in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu we are reading in the morning, kleshagni, how all the klesha is removed. Ashesha Klesh. Then, um, what to speak of someone who has Krishna Rati, who has developed Rati for Krishna? What to speak of such a person? For such a person, it's not just Ashesha Shanklesha Shamam Vidhatte. It's not just Ashesha Klesha Nashaya. It is not just Dukkha Shamanas. But for such a person who has developed Rati for Krishna, it is Anandam Buddhivardhanam. Every moment the bliss is increasing. Text 15. So Mahatma Vidur is saying, O powerful sage, O Vibho, Bhagavan, O powerful one, my Lord, all my doubts about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entity, Jiva, have now been removed by your convincing words. My mind is now perfectly entering into them. You're asking question about Paramatma and Atma. How the activities of Bhagavan can be untouched by the three gunas which carry out all activity in this world. How can the jiva suffer while being accompanied by Bhagavan as Paramatma? How can the jiva, which is Chinmay, spiritual entity, be covered by avidya? So all this is getting clear by hearing about the glories of Krishna, the glories of bhakti, and how a jiva can also become glorious by practicing bhakti. And all the suffering can go away. So Vidur is telling Maitreya Muni that I'm very grateful to you, O Bhagwan, by hearing from you. Sanchinna samshaya. All my doubts are being destroyed by sukta asina, by the weapon of your sukta, what you're speaking. Ukta means to speak. Your speech, your words are destroying all my doubts. And my mind is able to understand what you're saying. Prabhupada says in the purport, the science of Krishna or the science of God and the living entities is so subtle that even a personality like Mahatma Vidur has to consult persons like Sri Maitreya Muni. Doubts about the eternal relationship of Lord Krishna and the living entity Jiva are created by mental speculators in different ways. But the conclusive fact is that relationship of God and the living entity is one of predominator Krishna and predominated Jiva. Ekela Ishvara Krishna Arasabhabhritya. This is the real knowledge, process of devotional service. So this is Sambandha Jnana. Who is Krishna? Who is Jiva? And what is the relationship? This is very important. Text 16. Sadeta vyarita vidvan natma mayayanam hare. Hare, wait, class is going on. Abhat apartham nirmulam vishwamulam nayad bahihi. O sadhu, O learned sadhu, O learned sage, O Vidwan, Shri Vidurji is addressing Shripad Maitreya Muni as Vidwan. O Vidwan, your explanations are very good. All that you have spoken, Sad etad vyahritam. Whatever you have spoken is sadhu. It's very nice. As it should be, because you are Maitreya Muni. You are a disciple of Krishna. So your words ought to be great, glorious. Disturbances to the conditioned soul have no other basis than the movement of the external energy of the Lord. Doubts arise because of the material energy, Maya. Srila Prabhupada writes something very profound in the last sentence of this purport. Srila Prabhupada says, the false attempt of the living entity, the jiva, to occupy the predominating post of Lord Krishna is the cause of his material bondage. And the conditioned soul's attempt to become one with the Lord is the last snare of that Maya. Both are ignorance. To try to become God is ignorance, and to try to enjoy in this world is also ignorance. Text 17. Yascha mudhattamo loke yascha buddhe param gataha tavubhau sukham edhete klishat antarito jana. Both the lowest of fools and he who is transcendental to all intelligence enjoy happiness, whereas persons between them suffer the material pangs. Very interesting. Both enjoy material happiness. Both enjoy happiness. One who is the lowest of fools and one who is transcendental to all intelligence. Both enjoy happiness, whereas persons in between suffer the material pangs. Our Vidurji is saying, the lowest of fools do not understand material miseries. They pass their lives merrily and do not inquire into the miseries of life. They are completely in ignorance. They are just eating, sleeping, mating, defending, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. They have no interest in questions like, who am I? Who is God? Why am I suffering in this world? Like Srila Sanatana Goswami inquired from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you ask such questions, say, why are you acting extra smart? बहुत philosophical हो गया क्या? And they will make fun. They have no interest in spiritual life. Such people are engrossed in this world and apparently they are happy. But they are just like animals. Similarly, there are those men who are liberated and are situated in transcendental position. In transcendental position, they are really happy. And I'll call Paramhamsas. So on one hand, there are gross materialists who have no idea about spiritual happiness and they are just happy with their money. They are happy enjoying sense pleasure in this world. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. On the other hand, there are those who are completely liberated souls who are tasting spiritual bliss. They are actually happy. They are Paramhamsas. Now, persons, the third category, who are neither gross materialists nor Paramhamsa spiritualists, they are in between. They feel material pangs, and for them, enquiry about the supreme truth is necessary. Athato Brahma Jidnyasa. What is the meaning? Either somebody is completely materially intoxicated and not interested in Krishna consciousness, or someone is very happy. because they are spiritually paramhamsas. So for them, there is no misery. Vishwam Sarvam Sukhayate. They are very happy. They are Paramananda Daine. They have attained Paramananda. So they are very happy. And others are happy dancing in the disco, drinking alcohol. Yeah, life is great, man. They're just enjoying, breaking all the regulative principles. I know there was one boy in my medical school. He was very quick at making girlfriends, and his name was Krishna in my medical school. So he told me once that एक तेरा कृष्णा है और एक मैं हूं. We are enjoying. He's also enjoying, and I'm also enjoying in my own way. So just fools. They think that this skeleton on which some 200 muscles are stuck, covered by skin, which has two layers, dermis, epidermis, they think that with this bag of flesh and blood, they can come in contact with another bag of flesh and blood. They are thinking, I am a man, you are a girl, and we will enjoy. And they're enjoying. And they think that this is sustainable enjoyment. They think this is the highest purpose of life, where bags of skin and flesh come together and they feel we are happy. And they equate this with Vikriditam Brajavadhu. They equate this with the spiritual life that exists in Goloka Vrindavan. So either one is a grossly ignorant material fool, like this Dr. Krishna from a medical school, or one is tasting the bliss of Krishna consciousness as a Paramhamsa. This fellow is materially happy in this Maya Jagat, and one person is in touch with the Adhyatmic Jagat and is therefore very happy. But people in between who are neither materially happy nor spiritually happy and are suffering, they are the ones who say, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. How can I become happy? What's going on? They inquire. And that is the category that we all belong, where we have all been kicked by material nature. We are sitting here smiling, but if we analyze, there is so much sorrow in our life, materially. And therefore, helplessly we take shelter of Krishna, that Krishna, not dhanam. Others, I was in a patient's room and they are watching many times TV shows. And I happen to glance at it sometimes when I'm in the room. And then I request the patient, can you put the TV on mute or can you switch it off while we speak? But before that, I am able to glance what they are watching on the TV. Every patient has a TV in the room in America. And majority of them are watching something because they don't know what to do. They're just sitting in their room, getting bored, especially if they have no visitors. They're just watching TV. So many times I have seen they watch this one particular channel. I don't know what that channel is called, but it has got all these games that people play. So people are invited on TV and they play different games. The people are asked questions like how Kaun Banega Karodpati is there in India. Like that. They're asked questions and then you answer and then you get $25,000, $30,000, or boom, they'll open a screen and you won a car. This is your car now. Ooh, you won this gift, that gift. And they're jumping up and down that, yes, I got a vacation. I won $10,000. They're jumping up and down on TV and celebrating and, fist pumping. Yeah, yeah. They're giving high five to their family members. I won this, I won that. First category, the fools who are happy in the material world. That is one. We are not that type of people. And then there are pure devotees who are simply chanting Hare Krishna and experiencing Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purna Amrit Aswadanam. They are tasting the full nectar of Harinam Amrit. They are one category. They are blissful, and these people are blissful also. The gross materialists are blissful, and the pure spiritualists are blissful. But the people like us in between, who have been kicked by Maya, who are yasyaham anugranami harishyata dhanam shanay, tad dhanam tajantyasya swajana dukkha dukkida. People like us who are facing one dukkha after another in the material world and not achieved Krishna also yet. People like us ask, what is this? Is there something more to life than ahar nidra bhaya maithun? They inquire into transcendence, and they are athato brahma jigyasa. Now let me inquire about spiritual life. Is there some way out? Is there some way out of this? And this is necessary. So which category we want to be? Right now we are in the middle category, where we are neither here nor there. Good that we are not here. Unfortunate we are not there. We are here, but we have to go like this. We become inquisitive. Is there something more to life? We don't find anything. Or we try, we dabble with some spiritual path and we get cheated. Bogus guru, bogus devotee, and we become frustrated. And we leave. And we go back here. That is also not good. Our trajectory, spiritual evolution should go like this. That Athato Brahma Jigyasa, and then going towards Param Brahma, Param Dham, Pavitram Paramam. Like that. Text 18. Artha bhavam vinischitya pratitasyapi natmanah tam chapi yushmat charana sevayaham paranude. Vidur is saying, my dear sir, my dear Maitreya Muni, I am obliged to you because now I can understand that this material manifestation is without substance. There is no meaning to this materialistic way of life. Although it appears real, it appears real. Appears real, but it is not real. I am confident that by serving your feet, it will be possible for me to give up the false idea. I have confidence that if I take shelter of your lotus feet, I will be able to give up all my false ideas. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, the sufferings of the conditioned soul are superficial actually. They have no intrinsic value, like the cutting off one's head in a dream. How can a pure soul, which is spiritual, suffer? Actually, there is no suffering. It is our imagined suffering. We think I am this body and therefore we suffer. Srila Prabhupada says, by serving the lotus feet of great transcendentalists like Sri Maitreya Muni, and by constantly associating with them, one is enabled to give up the false idea that the soul suffers from material pangs. Associating with the great devotees, always Prabhupada says, constantly associating with them. Constantly associating with them. Now, when we are reading Srila Prabhupada's purports, we are associating with Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has personally dictated these purports. These are Bhaktivedanta purports. When we read Srimad Bhagavatam verses, again we are associating with Srila Prabhupada, the whole parampara, right up to Bhagwan Vyasadeva and Narad Muni, Shukdev Goswami. We are associating with them. So this should be our constant practice. Text 19. Yat sevaya bhagavatah kūtasthasya madhudvishah ratiraso bhavet tivrah padayor vyasanardanah. झालं. बरं, मला माहिती नव्हतं. By serving the lotus feet of the spiritual master, yat sevaya bhagavatah, One is enabled to develop transcendental ecstasy in the service of Madhu Dvisha. Madhu Dvisha has two meanings. Dvisha means the enemy, and Madhu is the demon Madhu. So Madhu Dvisha means Krishna, who is the enemy of the Asur, Madhu. And Madhu Dvisha, Dvisha also means to taste, to relish, to enjoy. Madhu Dvisha also means one who is very expert in tasting rasa. Madhu means honey, rasa. So Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu, Akhila Rasamrita Murti is Krishna. The Supreme Nayak is Krishna. Raso Vaisaha. That is also Madhudvisha of Vrindavan. The Lampat. Lampat not just means Krishna who enjoys with all the different gopis, but Lampat also means one who is very expert in relishing rasa. Rasaraj Krishna. That is also meaning of Lampat, who is expert in relishing rasa. So Madhudvisha in Vrindavan is Krishna, who is Raseshwar and Raseshwar. And generally, for outside Vrindavan, Madhudvesha means Krishna, the enemy of the Asur, Madhu. So, Kutasthasya Madhudvesha. One is able to develop transcendental ecstasy in the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the unchangeable enemy of the Madhu demon. Unchangeable means Krishna, who is Akshar, Avyay. Krishna, who is unchangeable, imperishable, and whose service vanquishes one's material distress. Padayor Vyasana Ardana. All our material distress is destroyed by taking shelter of his lotus feet. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says the association of a bona fide spiritual master like Maitreya Muni can be of absolute help in achieving transcendental attachment for the direct service of the Lord. We can get Rati Raso Bhavit Tivraha Padayor Vyasanardana. We can develop severe, strong attachment, Rati, taste in bhakti to Krishna, and at the same time, all our distress can be destroyed simply by associating with a pure devotee like Sri Maitreya Muni. The word Rati Rasaha is significant in this verse. Service to Lord Krishna is rendered in different transcendental mellows, means relationships. Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. This is called Rasa. A living entity in the liberated position of transcendental service to Lord Krishna becomes attracted to one of the above mentioned mellows. One of the rasas becomes attracted. And when one is engaged in transcendental loving service to the Lord, one's service attachment in the material world is automatically vanquished. Once we become attached to Krishna, then material attachment goes away. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.59, Rasavarjam Rasopasya Param Drishtva Nivartate. Text 20. Durapalpa tapasaha seva vaikuntha vartmasu yatropagiyate nityam deva devo janardana. Persons whose austerity is meager, those who have not really performed enough austerities, Durapahi alpa tapasa. Those who are alpa tapasa, those who have very meager, very less tapasya in their account, they can hardly obtain service of the pure devotees. Seva Vaikuntha Vartmasu. This is a very beautiful verse. Pure devotees are called Vaikuntha Vartmasu. Vartma means the path, road. Pure devotees are those who are treading, who are walking on the road to Vaikuntha. My dear friends, please listen carefully. Every round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra that we chant, whether it is attentive or whether it is inattentive. If it is inattentive, then we are walking very slowly, baby speed. But if it is attentive, then we are walking very fast, swiftly. But we are all walking on the path to Vaikuntha. As long as we are following bhakti as taught by Srila Prabhupada in our Shri Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, our Vaishnava Sampradaya, as long as we are following the bhajan paddhati given to us in our parampara by our Guru Varga, we are Vaikuntha Vartmasu. We are walking on the path to Krishna. How nicely we practice bhakti will determine how fast we get there. If we practice bhakti with attachment, with sincerity, for a long time, we will reach there. If we practice with attachment, but not for a long time, only for a few years, that means we traveled on the path at a very good speed, but then we stopped. Like the rabbit and the tortoise story. Like the rabbit, which go cover great ground, make great progress, but then we get distracted and we stop. But when we resume, we'll start from there only. You see? What we have to do, my dear friends, is we should not stop. Till the very last breath of our life, we have to continue practicing. Then Krishna says, Yogakshema Vahamyam. Even if you are a little away from the gates of Vaikuntha, I will come. I will come. Knowing that you were serious about getting here. You were serious about getting to Vaikuntha. Then whatever is the deficit, I will take care of it. But I want to see that you are sincere. Sincerity is shown by doing it till the last breath. Till the very last moment, we have to practice bhakti. And devotion is shown by how we practice bhakti with attachment. So sincerity and devotion both are required. Sincerity means to do it till the end, and devotion means to do it with attachment. Today morning in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we are reading these two things are required. And if we fall short in any of these two things, then bhakti will remain sudurlabha. It will remain difficult to obtain. So here, persons whose austerity is meager, those who are alpatapasaha, they cannot obtain service to Vaikuntha Vartmasu, to the sadhus, pure devotees who are progressing on the path back to the kingdom of Godhead, the Vaikunthas. Pure devotees engage 100% in glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord of the demigods, Deva Deva, and the controller of all living entities. He is Janardana. He is the controller, maintainer of all the jivas, Janardana. He is Deva Deva. He is the Lord of all the devatas. Those who are Vaikuntha Vartmasu, those who are pure devotees, they are Yatra Upagiyate Nityam. They are always glorifying Deva Deva, Janardana. They are always glorifying Janardana. So who is a pure devotee? A pure devotee is defined by Srila Prabhupada in verse number 20. A pure devotee is one who is Nitya, always glorifying Krishna. Through words, through actions, and through the mind. Karmana, actions, manasa, mind, vacha, words. Through body, mind, and words, a pure devotee is always glorifying Krishna. If he's sitting silently, he'll still wear Krishna's tilak. This is Krishna's temple. This is Krishna's body. Glorify Krishna. He'll still wear Kanthimala. He'll chant Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. Always glorifying. Purport. The path of liberation as recommended by all authorities is to serve the Mahatma, transcendentalists, Mahajano Yena Gathasapantha. Associating with devotees is very, very important. The system of association has been recommended since time immemorial. But in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, Kali Yuga, it is especially recommended by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra ka. Lavamatta Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi hai. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan. Mathuravasa Shrimurtira, Shraddhaya Sevan. First limb is Sadhu Sangha. Then Nama Kirtan will happen. Even if one has no assets of favorable austerity, if he nevertheless takes shelter of the Mahatmas who are engaged in chanting and hearing the glories of Lord Janardhan, he is sure to make progress on the path back home, back to Godhead. What was the qualification of Shrivas Thakur's dhobi? Only qualification was he was connected to Shrivas Thakur. What was the qualification of Shivananda Sen's dog? Both got Vaikuntha. Dhobi also got Vaikuntha and the dog also got Vaikuntha. Only qualification was their connection of service to a pure devotee. Shivananda Sen in the case of the dog and Shrivas Thakur in the case of the dhobi. Both got Vaikuntha simply by being connected with the Vaikuntha Vartmasu, the sadhus who are constantly engaged in glorifying Krishna. So with this we'll stop, and Krishna willing will continue from verse number 21 on Tuesday next week. Next week also we'll have a regular schedule. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Take home message today was associating with devotees, practicing bhakti with attachment, and practicing it throughout our life. And the importance of hearing, Shravanam Murare. And Rati, attachment to the service of Vaikuntha Vartmasu, the pure devotees. And who is a pure devotee? We saw today one who is Nitya. He is always engaged in glorification of Krishna, Deva Deva Janardhan. So we'll stop here. I don't see any raised hands, so we'll conclude. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna.